For the whole day he stood in the same spot, sometimes with his paws on the concrete, barking wildly and scratching through the surface with his nails. I tried to get him to calm down. I had to use his favorite treats to coax him outside of the basement. Once I did, I locked him outside. I put my ear over the wall he had been obsessing over. I heard a few faint scratches, but it was practically bothered. I'm not a superstitious man. You won't catch me worrying about poltergeists or ghosts. If anything, I was concerned about bugs getting into the foundation. I made a mental note to buy some insecticide from Home Depot. The following morning I looked out the window and saw the dog had started digging a hole up against the side of the house. It was right above the spot where he'd been focused on in the basement. Now I was starting to get pissed off. He was ruining Martin's marigolds. I ran outside to yell at the dog. In my rush to the door, I stumbled over one of our son's toys and went flying headfirst into the island countertop in the kitchen. I must have knocked myself out because when I woke up, it was already after dark. Outside, I heard shrill barking. Memory gradually filled my empty head, and I figured the dog must have completely destroyed the garden at that point. I grabbed a flashlight and went out to the yard. I hadn't been wrong. The garden was a tattered mess of soil and petals and loose buds. The goddamn dog was down at least 3 feet. His paws bled and were leaving red streaks against the outer concrete wall of the basement. I picked him up by the collar and lifted him out of the hole. He dove back in. I didn't know what the hell to do. None of the stores that sold pesticides were open at this hour, and the dog was going nuts. Bob and Angela's bedroom light went on. Bob leaned out the window and asked if everything was okay, and if it was, to please shut the dog up. I told him I was sorry and brought the animal back into the house. I cleaned up his paws and talked to him, trying to get him to settle down. He seemed exhausted, and to my great thanks, he turned over on his side and went to sleep. I trudged down to the basement and put my ear against the wall again. I heard the same soft scratching sounds. I swore. In a fit of frustrated rage, I grabbed a sledgehammer off my workbench and smashed a hole in the concrete. A huge chunk fell onto the floor. I half expected thousands of flies and termites to swarm out at me. Instead, Martin's glazed eyes blinked stupidly into the light pouring into the hole. His forehead was scraped down to the skull, obviously a source of the scratching sounds. When I bound his and the kid's hands and grabbed them, I didn't expect any noise. After one more blow to the sledgehammer and an hour to reseal the wall, I made my way upstairs. It's been 3 days since the dog hasn't barked or pawed at the spot again. Good boy.